Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Glad you're here. Glad you're with us. Big episode today. Wonderful episode today. We have plenty to talk about. I mean, it's great. Now we've gotten to the point where Corona is over, okay? It's done. Now, when you go in the grocery store, you get into arguments with single moms at the checkout aisle at your local Save on Foods about about geopolitics. That's what we're arguing about now. What's your stance on the Ukraine and Russia? That's what you have to talk about. Nothing else. Corona is done. We're mailing it in. Nobody gives a shit no more. It's an old folk tale of the past. Is where we're at now. Everybody's slowly opening up the world, and you can pick up arms and go shoot Russians in the skull and post them on any social media platform that you'd like. That's what you can do now, okay? Murder is legal. So if you've been dreaming about it, hey, one-way ticket over to the Ukraine, pick up an AR-15 and put some bullets in some Ruskies. It's not going to go well. You know, despite what the media is telling you, it's not going to go well, okay? We all like to believe all these fantasy stories that are coming out of there, like the Ghost of Kiev. It was fun. Just like QAnon, it sucked me in right away, you know? Like that first hookup that you're going to have in the bar now that everything's opening here in Alberta anyways. I don't really pay attention to the rest of Canada. I try not to, but it's practically impossible at this point not to laugh at some of the articles that are coming out. Like the first one we'll get into is ghost haunting. Is haunting the souls of Ottawa right now. The Taliban let out a press conference on their thoughts and feelings about Ukraine. That's good. And guess what? Yes, that's right. We figured out how to take voicemails. So we're going to air a few voicemails. And if you stay later for the show, I'll put the number up. I don't know. Right before we play some of these voicemails that were left. And let me tell you, very intellectual audience that I have. Okay? I'm talking about those that are willing to pick up their cell phone and dial that number to leave me a voicemail. I don't think you're getting a smarter, more educated individual on the planet to air their grievances and problems with me, okay? That's my audience. Scholars and university graduates. That's who listens to this podcast. I probably, if I could count, everybody likes to assume that it's welders, scaffolders, meth addicts, coke dealers, coke users. You're wrong, okay? You've been wrong for quite some time, actually. He's a alt-right extremist. That you might be right about. That might be the one thing. That was a shot in the dark, and you got to hit. Okay, it doesn't happen very often. Sometimes you sling assumptions, and you get one right. That one was a lucky guess. And it's incredibly insulting to think. Man, if I'm the alt-right, that is incredibly insulting to the alt-right. I'm over here being like, yeah, I don't really care if gay guys kiss in public. What? You got Stone Cold Steve Austin back here. All right, listen, I don't really care if gay men kiss in public. What? I'm a little bit more loose with my sexuality. What? How many dicks did you kiss? One. One dick. What? 2 dicks. What? 3 dicks. What? Then I washed it down with a strap-on in the ass. What? A Bloody Mary. What? 6 of you shut off this episode already. Congratulations. You bettered your life by doing so. But yes, the Taliban released a statement. We'll get into that. Ghost honking in Ottawa. And we also have the voicemails left on our phone line for Last Call Live. So I'll release that. So that way, that's how the YouTubers are doing it now. You got to release something later in the episode so it captivates the audience. My viewer retention goes up, and then this podcast grows. Please share it with your friends, okay? I know it's incredibly hard to want to share something of this stature to prove that, you know, you think on a higher level than other human beings. And that, I get that. It can be a difficult conversation. It's like sitting across the table from your aunt who's very left-leaning, pro-vaccine, and you just say, you know, maybe I might wait. You're vaccine hesitant. And then it's one of those conversations. You know, it's rather difficult to bring up. And I understand. I get it. You don't want everybody to know that you are a highly intelligent human being by sharing this podcast with others. It's like you put me up there with like Lex Friedman, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a Joe Rogan because I don't need guests to carry this show, okay? In fact, they're more entertaining without the guest because I don't feel like... I find in my older age, I don't really want to, you know, converse with more people. I know it's healthy and I should do it more, but I'm getting to that miserable point in my life where it just alters, where the youthfulness is like seeping out of my body, and I'm now encouraging this grumpy old man that has been existing inside of me, and my just distaste for young culture and the hobbies that they're into. I'm feeling that slowly. Oh, I spit all over the mic. Jesus, that's disgusting. I feel that slowly coming out of my body now, and that's becoming me. I haven't got to the point where I'm telling folks to fuck off in public quite yet, but I have a feeling it's around the corner. I'm assuming it's got to be right there, you know? I'm like an old lab, like a golden lab sitting sitting shotgun in my pickup truck away from just being the grumpiest man on the block. That's what I'm right there. I'm like a precision drilling jean jacket away. That's a Canadian reference, but like one of those old insulated jean jackets away from turning into the miserable old alcoholic that only leaves the house to get cigarettes and tall boys of Budweiser. I'm excited for that portion of my life. I really am. I think it's really going to help me become the human that I've always meant to be. I think that at some point, once I get there, that's the true Uncle Hack that we all needed. And it'll help you become happier to know that you're not living like this. Oh, yeah, that guy's still doing that shit, hey? Oh, wow. Wow, he had dreams and aspirations. Look how well those worked out for him. See, kids, you can use me as an example for your children because I refuse to have any. So use me. That's why I call myself Uncle Hack. You know what I mean? You can use me to further lessons in life with your children, your offspring. Be like, this is what happens when you have dreams. They get crushed, and then you become this guy. Your only friend is a dog. And then I got to tell you, then we just sit there and grunt, and I put a can of raw dog food in his dish, and the dog just appreciates me. I don't talk, you know. I won't be one of those dog hunters and be like, yeah, hell, he really likes that. I spent a good portion of my day telling everybody what this dog thinks inside its head, even though I've never spoken or had a conversation with him. I know everything about this dog. You go to a dog park, and that's all it is. It's just deranged white women. I think I've talked about that on here, screaming into the abyss in between conversations, and it's rather annoying. It irritates the hell out of me. My girlfriend takes me to the fucking dog park every now and then, and the people that are there just I despise. That to me is what the best way of putting it is. I am that for you. Okay, I worded that very horribly. Dog people to me is me to you in life lessons. I look at those people and I don't aspire to be any one of them sitting there and like in between. Yeah, we went for brunch yesterday with Doug and his wife. It's a, Peaches, come over here, Peaches. And we had the eggs. We had the eggs, avocado toast. Peaches, hey, Peaches, we don't do that. And it was delicious. In between conversations, this is what's happening, is they're like yelling at the dog as they're trying to still continue on with the sentence, and you're just like locked in for an additional 7 more minutes of your life hearing them scream into the abyss of some dog that just does not respect that person whatsoever. And your respect for them is dwindling down as you're looking into the eyes of this just buffoon yelling at an animal that will not listen, refuses. Get over here. Get over here. You're bad. You're bad. You're bad. And then Doug told us about that he's about to propose. Oh, you're such a bad Doug. That he's going to propose to her when Becky went to the bathroom. And that's why I'm going to turn into an alcoholic again. Glad we got that off I'm glad I got that off my chest early on in the episode. 19, this right here is the boyfriends that are forcing your girlfriends to listen to this. They are fucking losing it right now. Inside their head, it is a war zone, okay? And it is Ukraine versus Russia. And that war zone right now is she just can't quite. You're Russia because you're forcing her to listen to this, okay? That's what's happening. You're forcing her to listen to this, and you possess the power because I assume that you're driving. Because you know better not to risk your life and have it in the hands of a female behind the wheel. You're smarter than that. That's why I respect my audience, and I refer to them as intellectuals and higher. They operate on a higher frequency. All right. The Rush Limbaugh of blue-collar gentlemen. And this woman right now, inside her skull, she's trying to figure out a story that is never-ending. There's no closer to it, or something she can bring up so she can reach across the center council and turn this down to tell you something completely useless. Trust me, I'm an expert on the female mind. Nothing they love doing is when you're entertained is ruin that and they become the sole reason or the sole, fuck it, whatever. They become your entertainment. I exited and I'm entering back. They become the full entertainment in the car. And it's irritating them right now that you're laughing at something that they are. Eating them alive, because you know damn well if your girlfriend has a dog, she's been screaming in a dog park or in the backyard, had a conversation with you while trying to play with the dog. Who's a good boy? So I was thinking we'd go over to Derek and Tiffany's house around. Who's a good boy? And you're like, fuck, inside your head, that's when Russia-Ukraine happens inside your head, and you're like, God damn it, woman, just tell me what the fuck it is inside your head. But you can't do that because it would escalate tensions, and that's when NATO comes in. and our NATO, God bless them, is you know what? I don't know how to segue into this because I'm not a professional podcaster. Some may believe that, but I'm not. But this right here is my favorite right now. This may be a little controversial, so buckle up, okay? I know it may be a little controversial, but I am a fan of what the Taliban has been up to. They are incredibly insane, and quite honestly, it fits. They are the puzzle piece that this world was missing. It really is. This is their statement. The The Taliban had a press release about the concerns in the Ukraine, and this is it. I'm going to read it to you because this is absolutely hilarious. Statement concerning crisis in the Ukraine from Abdul Kahar Balki, who is he's their press coordinator, I think, for the Islamic State or the Taliban there, or the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Sorry, my apologies. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is closely monitoring the situation in Ukraine and expresses concern about real possibility of civilian casualties. The Islamic Emirate calls for restraint by both parties. All sides need to desist from taking positions that could intensify violence. Wow. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, I love that they start with that. Listen, that's stone cold leadership, you know? Every sentence starts with the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. In line with its foreign policy of neutrality, calls on both sides of the conflict to resolve the crisis through dialogue and peaceful means. The Islamic Emirate also calls on parties to the conflict to pay attention to safeguarding the lives of Afghan students and migrants in the Ukraine. Sorry. That is beautiful. You know, these guys are fucking completely insane, but I am here for it. They kick ass. I have a difficult time trying to find a reason to hate them at this point. You know, they took it over and they're out here doing press releases. It's like, you remember in middle school when they were trying to teach you about politics and then they would have like a fake election about who could be class president, or I don't know if schools still do that, where they'll do like the president and you'd campaign and all that. This is literally that in real time, real life, okay? School is not real. It's just it's indoctrination of making you a dumber human, if I'm being correct. And I went to a Catholic school, and I say that proudly. But this is just beautiful. It's a Talibanana Republic. That's right, the Talibanana Republic. And if they want to expand overseas and have a House representative here and run for the Talibanana Republic of Canada, I would gladly represent them. A lot of controversy behind the whole Diagolon here in Canada, which was like a fake country made up by Jeremy Mackenzie and a few fellas, and they ran with it being an alt-right extremist group filled to the brim with neo-Nazis and all this nonsense. You know what the media does. They take whatever they want and they just create it's fantasy land is what it is. It's Harry Potter fans just drumming up whatever idea they have in their head and putting it into real-time storytelling, first to market, and get the story out there, whatever exists inside their head, however they want to spin and twist it, right? Not this. This will be totally different. You put me head of the Talibanana Republic. I'm saying Talibanana really weird. And what I will bring is truth and honesty, okay? I will also, there'll be a few things that'll be a little shaky, but we'll get through it as a society, a little bit of a culture. I like the idea of not allowing women in universities. I think that they got a great thing going on over there. Not allowing women to walk in public without a man because, well, let's be honest, you guys are a little bit scared right now, right? I've read the feminist blogs. A lot of terror sits inside your guys' heads of not being able to walk in public safely. So we will assign a male that has to go with you to go outside. See, I'm very progressive in that sense, okay? It sounds bad right now, right? It sounds bad off the get-go, but give it time. We'll all get used to it. It's like lockdowns. After 2 years of them, you're like, give me more lockdowns. You know? Before you know it, it's just normal at that point. And the fact that they're showing compassion about civilian casualties, maybe the Taliban has turned a new leaf. I can't say that with a straight face. God almighty. It's a Talibanana Republic. That's what we're living in. That's what we're living in. And I will be the president of the Talibanana Republic. I'm going to need a few guys, you know. Will there be women in your cabinet? No. No. Because we will see, this is, hold on. That girlfriend that's sitting shotgun right now is getting awfully upset with the things that are coming out of this guy's mouth. It's getting a little wild in here. I don't know if I like this guy. That's okay. Hear me out. Because what we're going to do to boost the economy, right? We're going to be the #1 OnlyFans producer on the planet. That's right. Every girl, boom, OnlyFans. Progressive, right there. Blast yourself. Sit at home. Drink red wine. It's a fucking lockdown all day, every day. You're safe inside. You don't have to leave. We have skip the dishes, all that on standby whenever you need food, a box of wine, opioids, whatever you need to get through the day. All right? Those that were for lockdowns, this is a dream come true. You just get to sit around in your apartment with your 9 cats and rub your pussy all day. And I'm not talking about the cats. And you get paid for it, right? So then we're going to boost the economy. Things are going to look great. We won't be so dependent on oil. We're just going to be looking for some snake oil. You know what I mean? And we'll find other ways to diversify the economy. And really open this thing up. And I feel that, you know, since Russia's OnlyFans girls are taking a hit right now, there's an open market. And Canada, under the Talibanana Republic, will clean up. All right? We'll accept Bitcoin. We'll accept Dogecoin, Ether. Hell, you can pay us in Russian rubles. We don't care. We want the money. What's your stance on the environment, Hack? You know what? At that point, do we really even need an environment? Do we? Do we really need oil at that point? A little bit. I guess we got to make some dildos for these women. But you know what we'll do? We'll go old-fashioned. You got to fuck yourself with cucumbers and wooden dildos whittled by... See? And I'm creating jobs. God damn it, is politics easy. God, I could turn this fucking country around on a goddamn dime. Talibanana Republic. You know? You think I'm an idiot. But here I am. I'm presenting everything that we need right here in front of your eyes. If you're watching, if you're listening in the truck, you have daggers in the side of your head and can't believe this guy's saying the things that he says. Oh, hear him out, babe. Hear him out. You know, this might split into something that we can all get behind. You know, we will sell pussy to the world. Tell me a more progressive idea, all right? Creating jobs. That's what we'll do. Christ almighty. I mean, some of you, Jesus Christ, you know, you're selling titty pics for $250 a month. We got to get that stock up. Unreal. I'm telling you, deep inside this CTE-ridden brain, there's a politician just screaming to get out. That grumpy old man that we spoke of earlier, behind that, there is a politician just awaiting to take the reins of this place, Canada. And I will do a name change. I'm letting you know right now. It'll be the Republic of Talibananas. That will be our name change. What's our flag going to look like? I haven't quite got there yet. I think what we'll probably do is take this beautiful picture of old JT and replace the maple leaf with the blackface photo that he had at the Arabian Nights celebration that he attended. I think that would be a wonderful way to unite the country, to praise one of the greatest leaders that has ever donned the title prime minister in this country. And I'm paying service and gratitude. I'm paying gratitude to one of the greatest leaders of all time. That's what I would be doing. 19-old, like the 45-year-olds that listen to this, their heads are exploding right now. He's not even that good. Who invokes the Emergencies Act over a bunch of truckers? I'll tell you what. If I'm in power, you truckers even think about coming to Parliament Hill, I'm waging war on society. You think he's bad. You think he's bad. Wait till the Taliban, the Talibanana Republic takes over. You better fucking no, we ain't going there. We ain't going there. And this is also a great time to segue into our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. This is great. I am such a fan of this. Let me just fucking. There we go. I'll read this headline to you. The trucks have left Ottawa, but phantom honking lingers for many downtown. This is a real article reported by CBC News. The journalist's name is Nicole Williams. Post-traumatic stress from weeks of honking is a temporary mild trauma, psychologists say. You know what? We do need an invasion here. We do. We need real problems. We do. I've said it for a long time now. We need a real problem. We need a real issue. Like Russia needs to kick down our doors. China. I think it's going to be China. I think China needs to come in, boot fuck us around, and then everybody... I'll get into this but here we go. Then everybody that's been like, yeah, well, those guys in Ukraine are fighting for real freedom would have to shut up for a second. They would have to take the back seat and just shut up and let the driver get to where we need to go, right? And those that are like, I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a freedom fighter. Look at me. I colored the sign, put it on the hockey stick. Then those guys got to put down the hockey stick and pick up a rifle. Then we'll see who really is what they say they are. I think it's the only way that we can be as transparent as possible and see people for their true colors and what they really, really deeply, truly care about. And we wouldn't have to deal with bullshit like this, you know? Oh my God. I have post-traumatic stress disorder because of what's happening downtown Ottawa. How long before some of these assholes start saying that they have PTSD from watching war footage from the Ukraine and Russia? That's what I want to know. Is how long before we self-diagnose ourselves with PTSD because you seen a bomb blow up Kiev? I know it's not laughable about war, but it's the disgusting fucks like this that just drive me insane. There's like so much narcissism embedded with all this bullshit. I can't believe I have difficulty sleeping at night. This is great. All right. Kevin. Oh, of course it's a Kevin. Kevin uses one word to describe the first days of the protest downtown Ottawa. Torture. Wow. Guantanamo Bay here in Canada was truckers lining the streets, honking their horns. And I believe they didn't honk from like 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., if I'm correct. But this is torture. I don't believe. This is what I mean why we're too spoiled here. We need an RPG to just like launch into the side of a building so that way we can feel like what torture's really like, you know? And this is a wild take. And keep in mind, this is a comedy podcast for anybody out there that's willing to take this too serious. But I mean, like, what? How? How do you associate torture with a horn honking? You know what I mean? No, it's torture is listening to these people talk. It's incredibly insane, is what it is. Insanity exists inside these metropolitan fucking cucklands. God almighty. It drives me insane, if I'm being honest. Time for a little ad read. Shoddy is revolutionizing jewelry one shoddy at a time. The necklaces are multifunction and a conversation starter. These incredible shotgun necklaces have a shotgun tool built in every pendant. The quality necklaces will tear through beer cans and create a perfect hole, unlike your old lady. Every time for you to guzzle down your drinks. For everyone listening right now, we are offering a special discount code for you. Use DangerCats20 for 20% off your next purchase at theshoddy.com. They got everything from a Canada design to a mullet man shoddy. Follow these beauties at the shoddy on Instagram and you'll see why you need this. DangerCatShop.com. All right. You can get yourself one of these big Trudy tees because we are major supporters of our Prime Minister. We believe that the first transracial Prime Minister on the planet should be recognized dearly. And you can get a discount off of all of our merch today by using the code podcast69 at DangerCatShop.com. Plus, all of our tickets are available for stand-up shows there. February 24th, we have a show here in Edmonton, Cream of the Crop, and many others. Also, patreon.com/dangercats69. You can get a exclusive episode as you're listening to this right now. All the banked episodes are there, all the old episodes, plus many more. All of our roast battle footage. There's behind the scenes footage. There's much more Danger Cats content behind the paywall. Plus, you can support the channel by doing so and support the podcast as well. Thank you. And back to the episode. It's truly a beautiful time to be alive, to watch this all unfold in front of us. Torture. This is torture. Literally, there was trucks right underneath me. Said Kevin, who did not want to provide CBC a last name for the fear of reprisal. Oh, God. Yeah, somebody might actually show up and start honking the horn. It was one thing for me, but I've got animals. I've got 3 cats and 2 dogs. So, yeah, it was torture. No, it's probably torture. Is like the fact that you have 5 animals in what, a 2-bedroom apartment? That is probably just a fucking... I'm just envisioning this person inside my head. And they're always the most insufferable to be around. There's always an issue just floating at the forefront. And how can I use a problem to be the center of attention and allow everybody to like what am I looking for there? Allow everybody to show empathy towards me for being just a total jackass and not having a single fucking vertebrae in my spine. Because the only way I can get attention is by using my depressed, I think I'm going to kill myself today. That torture is the reason behind an ongoing class action lawsuit which sought an injunction prohibiting any participants in the convoy protest from using vehicle horns in the vicinity of downtown Ottawa. The trucks have since been removed, with police pushing the majority of protesters outside of the downtown core over the Family Day long weekend. Even still, some downtown residents say they're haunted by phantom honking. What sounds like blaring truck horns, but no actual sounds there. Oh my God. Someone needs to just go downtown every now and then and just let one mom and watch, like, you know, watch it all crumble. When you hear the noise, it's like, oh, are they back? Is there a road convoy coming back? Says Sean Flynn, who lives 3 kilometers from downtown but could still hear the horns inside his home during the protests. You know what? Good. Good is what I say. You know, it feels good. I have a difficult time finding sympathy for these assholes because they're the ones like on Reddit, like smearing somebody any chance they get. You know, their karma's through the roof on Reddit, but in real life, karma has came to bite them in the ass for attempting to dox people on a pathetic platform. It is actually mildly entertaining if you go on there and read some of the shit that people post. You know, it's basically like you guys, the listeners, very intellectual human beings, I may add, but just on the other side of the spectrum, you know? They're just having a difficult time believing that lizard people are operating the planet and the Jews control the weather. That's all. Not this audience. I can throw that out there. 100% of you nodded in agreement, being like, yeah, no, I think he's right on that. That's how well I know you fellas. What does this gentleman have to say? Flynn isn't alone. Downtown resident Zakur Varani says he hears phantom honking too, usually at night, which keeps him awake. Oh, yeah, here we go. You know, my father immigrated from Pakistan in the middle of the war, and here I lied to tell him. I called him up in the middle of the night. This probably isn't nice of me to do this, but it is kind of funny. We are all immigrants at one point if we are not Native Americans, so I feel like I'm able to make fun of this, right? You know, that'd be like me trying to tell my grandpa who fought in the he never fought in a war, but he was in a Navy, and me trying to tell him that I got PTSD from a air horn off a semi. I would hope to God my grandpa would take me out back and hit me over the head with a 2x4 until I was unconscious. And I hope he would strap me to a chair in his garage and start performing the same acts that they did to the civilians in MK Ultra to rewire my brain. Maybe I'd come out with a single sane thought. You know what I mean? And I could only dream of that happening, but because I don't think I'm ever coming to the table with phantom honking keeping me awake at night. A temporary sin. So it's hard to explain because I think with any post-traumatic stress-induced thinking, it's not very rational. Thank you. You're not actually hearing honking, he said. Added, he experiences constant on-edgeness and fear anytime he steps outside since the protest. Come on. Come on. You know, as you should. I walk outside and I often question on whether or not that Putin is going to press the button. You know, that's why I stay indoors with a mask on, with my head in the sand, ignoring anything that could possibly any extreme outcome that could possibly happen on this planet. I just bury my head in the sand with my ass in the air, hoping to God that I get fucked at least one last time. That's what I love doing. That's how I soothe this post-traumatic stress disorder that I have self-prescribed. Every time that one of you comment on one of my posts, it incites fear that I'm unable to go and do stand-up comedy across the provinces and possibly into the United States of America. I loathe putting on my shoes, and I slowly open the door and I look outside and I see traffic and I be like, is it one of them? Is it one of them? I am fearful of my life from a bunch of gentlemen that had bouncy castles, hot tubs, and having chili cook-offs in the street. There were street hockey games filled with violence. They were beating around a black circular object. I'm not extremely sure, but I have a fucking sneaky suspicion that is surrounded by white supremacy. I'd like to publicly announce that I do also have white guilt. Okay, I feel horrible that a resident and also fellow Canadian that may be of color. Okay, I'm not saying a name like Zakir Virani is of any descent, any specific descent. Right? I just want to announce that I recognize that, as a white person, I'd like to announce that it may be difficult, and it probably is more difficult, having post-stress traumatic disorder from air horns, seeing as, there was probably air raid sirens for his father, and that just, that type of PTSD is in fact hereditary, okay? You can get it. And I just want to announce and put it out there that it is incredibly important of me to take a stance against white nationalism and white supremacy, and that his PTSD from air horn honking probably stems from a place that his father came from. Now, is it wrong of me to assume? Yes, it is very wrong of me to assume that he, like myself, and who is a settler on Treaty 7 land. Oh God, I'm getting canceled. This is it. The mob is coming for me. If this podcast ever takes off, I'm done. That it may boost my career for being such a fucking idiot. In fact, I hope that this guy hears it. Okay. Dr. Peter Liu, an Ottawa-based clinical psychologist, said it's possible people who hear phantom honking are experiencing mild trauma. This is all reported too as an invasion of Russians is happening in the Ukraine. This is the what about me era that I'm talking about. It's something that pops up and immediately diverts the attention away from people that were getting it for a minute there and be like, yeah, all my friends were calling me, are you okay? Those truckers, those racist truckers that are honking their horns and barbecuing bratwursts. And yeah, we all know where bratwursts come from, right? So now that the attention is now off the city and away from them, and no one gives a shit about the aftermath of phantom honking, they have to report this to make sure that, these self-righteous morons have something to lean into a little more and be like, yeah, well, it was tough for us too. You want to fight for freedom? You want to fight for freedom? Yeah, well, it's equivalent to me being a resident of Kiev. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. I've heard like 3 ways to pronounce it. Kiev. Whatever the Russian way is, I'll say it that way. Being poot dog. Over there just doing whatever the hell he wants. It's almost respectful in a way. And I'm not siding with this, okay? I'm not siding with this. It's respectable to a degree that this guy is just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do me, okay? I'm out here doing me, bruh. Don't even try to fuck around. I'll invade. I'll do it. Don't fuck with me. NATO, don't even get close to the Ukraine. I don't need you assholes bordering me. You're already bordering me. I don't need you closer. I don't need new neighbors. I like my neighbors. I don't want you guys installing military defense systems all throughout the Ukraine, so that way you can, you have a little bit more of an advantage. Just saying. Anyways, moving on. These sounds become sort of embedded in my mind. These sounds become sort of embedded in mind, kind of like the way trauma leads to flashbacks. Honking. This is where we're at, Residents of Ukraine are encouraged to pick up Kalashnikovs and fight a Russian force that is absolutely decimating them right now. And we are over here talking about phantom honking. We're talking about practice. I'm talking about practice. You know, this is an Allen Iverson moment here happening here in Canada. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. This is why I truly believe that we need an invasion of some sort here in this country. I do. I think it would humble us faster than anything could ever, you know, like, I'm not saying we need, like, it can't be, it has to be another white, like, predominantly white country. We can't have the Chinese invade us because that gives an opportunity for, like, the woke left to be like, well, I mean, they are an ancient society and probably at some point they existed here. They are BIPOC. It gives them, like, a chance to lean into that. So we need Russia to invade Alaska and seep down into Canada. Then that gives us an opportunity to be like, yeah, see, we're fighting white supremacy. And it'll unite us all in the left. Oh, I'm hearing phantom missiles. And they can have that, and then we can celebrate fighting a war like everybody wants right now. You know, all my buddies, if that was me, then we can finally see what everybody's made of. We can wipe out a few people. Maybe there's some friendly fire going on. You know, I'm just saying there's probably a couple family members that I could, you know, they were casualties of war. That's all I'm getting at. I didn't know they weren't wearing the red and white armband. I was unsure if the blue was on there for an American troop or if it was a Ruski. So I was there, but it was accidental. Little friendly fire. We'll have a beautiful ceremony for that said aunt. Bring my fucking family problems to the table too, pal. You think you're the only one that has post-traumatic stress disorder? You know what haunts me at night? You want to know what haunts me at night? Is the sound of my screeching aunt's voice across the table telling me about what I said wrong back in 2006 prior to my graduation. Sorry, that would have been 2008. My bad. I'm aging myself there. And I got to constantly live like, you remember that time? You remember that time? Is that post-traumatic stress disorder? Is that some sort of fear that I live in? Am I experiencing mild trauma? Am I experiencing that? But enough about my problems. Let's get into the fan questions. Let's do that. That seems healthier right now. These are great. Let's see here. I'm pulling them up. Let's start with this one. I can't remember which is which, but
hey, Uncle Hack, how's it going, my friend? Just watched your latest podcast. Hey, Uncle Hack,
where can I play this? Why is it? Stop fucking around.
Thought I'd leave you a voicemail. I'm not sure if you use this one on the podcast, but thought I'd give her a go. So I'm a young man, about 24 years old.
Let's start that over. I don't like how that started. Let's bring this up. Here we go.
Hey, Uncle Hack, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, Uncle Hack.
Watched your latest
An old-time friend.
Podcast and thought I'd leave you a voicemail. I'm not sure if you use this one on the podcast, but thought I'd give her a go. So I'm a young man, about 24 years old, live out here in northern Alberta, and just got a question I need a little bit of help with. So I've been with this lady for 3 years.
You notice how you said that? Lady. I've been with this lady. Yeah. So you're not happy.
Years now, and the sex in bed's kind of gone to shit. As my fellas or my boys would say, it's gone vanilla. Yeah, man, it's just pretty hard. So I was just wondering what advice you had for a guy like myself. Yeah, have a good one.
All right. The sex has gone vanilla. What was it before? Ask yourself that. What was it before? You know, what were you doing that was so crazy before that isn't happening now? All of a sudden now, what? And it happens, okay? This is what happens, is pussy is currency in some, that's how you get trapped, okay? That's how you get trapped. And this is going to be very misogynistic, and buckle up to the girlfriends that are sitting shotgun in your boyfriend's truck, husband's truck, wherever it is, and you're forced to listen to this. Buckle up, because you're about to hear some hard truths. This is what happens. In the beginning, we're all happy, excited. We're fucking, you know? The dopamine in a fella's brain. And that's all we need. That's all we need. And as you suppress that exciting, you know, coming home and you're like, let me suck you off while you brush your teeth, you filthy blue collar piece of shit. You know, that exciting nature. Nature. Why did I say nature? That exciting environment that once was withheld inside the house. And now that you've had more time with them, you got to know, you listen to them bitch all the time. She's probably, you know, you hear her shitting in the other fucking door, and it doesn't, and you're like, oh God, Jesus, eat some fiber for fuck's sakes. My God. Get some cheese in your diet, solid, get that shit solid. I don't want to hear it spray in the toilet. I just want to hear it like plunk in the toilet. My God, what's wrong with you? And these now are like the problems that are happening over and over and over every day. It's like, don't put your boots on the front step. And then you're like, hey, babe, can we fucking, no, I'm tired. And yet, like, the annoyance of that, because, like, men, we're simple creatures, right? A little bit of pussy goes a long way with us, especially when it's a wild fuck, you know? That's where we have a tough time figuring out, do we want to, you know, you always want to fuck the crazy ones and you never want to date them. But then you end up, you end up in this weird dynamic with the crazy ones where you're like, you can't quite get rid of her because you're terrified that she might smash all the windows out in your fucking 1998 Ford Ranger, right? You're terrified of that outcome happening because you love that truck. You do. It's one of your favorite trucks, and the last thing you want is somebody coming in and damaging your property. And some of the best fucks are the ones that are going to do that. So then we get tied up with these, you know, more vanilla. And I'm assuming, you know, your vanilla is just like, hey, she like rolls over, spreads her legs, spits on her hand, slaps it on her pussy, and then just says, hey, hammer away, get it over with, right? And to spice it up, I would just start, you know, I would just fucking... Patrice O'Neill had that, and I hate ripping off other people's, you know, ideas and how to make this better, is you got to make her feel like you don't need her anymore, right? So, like, yeah, you know, like he said, eat her out, make her come, and then just get up and there you go, have it. That one's on you, and that'll fuck with her. It's psychological warfare all the time, and Patrice, I agree with that 100%. God rest your soul. You're one of the greatest misogynists to ever walk the planet, okay? And that's going to create a different idea in her head, like, what the hell's going on? Because right now, you're being the guy that's too, you know, you don't have the backbone to be like, I can sense it because I've been with this woman. You know, you already sound like you're defeated and you're losing the war. Right now, you're Ukraine, she's Russia, she's winning right now because she's got you right where you want it. She's pulled the sex, just like we're doing. All the NATO countries, we're pulling out, we're putting on sanctions. You're getting sanctioned on pussy right now is what's happening. She's pulling back a little bit and doesn't do the freaky shit. And I don't know what that entails. Like maybe, but I'm up here in northern Alberta, so what does that mean? Like she used to tickle her fucking clit with a foxtail? I don't know. Whatever you're into, I don't care. All right, but what I'm alluding to is you need to bring some sort of mystery to her brain again so she can drum up ideas and get that female fucking psycho shit where she feels like there's competition out there. Because right now she's not competing with anybody. That's like the fun part in the beginning is a female's competing for your full-blown attention, and they use that. Listen, we're simple creatures. She dumps the tits out in the grocery store when nobody's looking, and you're like, yeah, wow, hey, there we go. I like that. I like those. And it's little things like that keep the excitement going, right? Where now she feels like there's competition out there, it's going to drum up something. You don't got to go out and like Instagram photos or, DM bitches or anything like that. Keep the mystery. Don't give her any leverage, anything in the back corner, because don't start DMing girls, liking photos, talking to bitches on Snapchat, because that's going to create more problems. It's going to create a war. An unnecessary war, like NATO getting involved with the Ukraine and Russia. Those are issues that need to be separated. So what you got to do is like little things, do nice things for her, so that way she has the idea in her head that you're cheating because you're doing nice things for her. It will then create the idea in her head that now she's got to compete again somewhere. Something's different here. Something's off. So you got to throw curveballs. You're throwing too many fastballs. She's hitting home runs on you. Every single pitch. Ka in the top deck. Ka in the top deck. You're losing 10-1 right now. And we're getting into deep innings. Okay, you've been with her a few years now, and that's usually the case. The honeymoon phase is over. You're not doing the same freaky shit. You both got into this weird groove of like watching Netflix, stupid shows together. Hey, honey, make sure you don't watch the new episode of Stranger Things without me, right? Don't do that. Meanwhile, she watched the whole season without you, and you're like, oh man, that's a bummer. Oh, I'll rewatch it with you. And it's just like the excitement isn't there. It gets removed. Now you got to bring the excitement yourself by doing these little things. And like I said, don't cheat. You can't cheat in these situations, because then you just got grand slammed by doing that. But you need to bring up every now and then, just hint at it. Hint at it. Hint at little things that you like. Hint at it. Bring it up in conversation. Have a box of wine between the two of you and see what happens. Bring up conversation. Some of the best, that's like when you get drunk with one another and you just like air it all out, and hopefully that you don't fight, then you back her into a corner or something. But that's what I think that you need to do, my dog. You got to bring some flavor back in. You have to do it. Okay? Because she's totally removed from this. If it's got to the point where like the sex is boring, and isn't it funny that a lot of guys that call into the show all have sexual problems? It's, oh, my old lady won't fuck me good anymore. Well, there's really, if you like the relationship, then continue down the path that don't continue down the path that you're going down. You got to change it up. You got to throw some curveballs in there. Maybe throw a knuckleball, eat her out, make her come, and just get up and go make your own sandwich. Because then it puts in her head like, oh my God, what the hell was that? It fucks with them. You got to fuck with them on their level. You got to play it's psychological warfare. And you're losing. So you got to find ways to like excite her brain and bring her back to the forefront, to the beaches of Normandy, and bring her back and drag her into the war. That's what I'm saying. I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. Let's get into this. What do we got here?
My name is Yvonne. I live in Canada. I'm in Red Deer. Don't really have a problem per se. Just I don't agree with a lot of what's going on. I'm voicing it on my Facebook.
Yvonne sounds like she's had a few cocktails before calling into the show. I earn it on the Facebook. This is an elder woman. I see what I mean. An older intellectual audience is what I entertain.
And it's surprisingly that not many of my friends on Facebook are agreeing. And I'm thinking, what, are they afraid to stir the pot?
Oh, yes. This is my drunk aunt. That's who this is. This is my drunk aunt sitting there. Are you afraid to stir the pot? Put the Trulies down. you know? You don't need another cranberry vodka before bed. Pack it in. Are you afraid to stir the pot? This is great.
I don't know. Just frustrated that there aren't more people standing up. And I wish people would stop complying with the stupid mask. I went to the store tonight, and people are still wearing the damn mask. And so I put a post on Facebook. That's
the best place to do it. I put a post on Facebook. I like how everybody thinks that we got to just air our problems on social media. Like the first thing that we do is like as soon as, the first thing when I get home, I'm hitting the keyboard. I'm hitting the fucking keyboard, and I'm going to let everybody know exactly what's going on inside my skull.
every time these people are wearing the mask, they're agreeing to all the bullshit lies that are being said out there about the Freedom Convoy. You put on the mask, you agree with freezing the bank account. You put on the mask, you agree that the convoy...
Oh. What happened? What's going on here? All right. Well, I got to pull that up in a different... We were just getting good.
Hi, my name is Yvonne.
Where is
I live in
this?
Canada. I'm in Red Deer.
Oh, my God. What a shit show.
I don't really have a problem per se, just I don't agree with a lot of what's going on. I'm voicing it on my Facebook.
Of course you are.
And it's surprisingly that not many of my friends on Facebook are agreeing. And I'm thinking, what are they afraid out there about the Freedom Convoy? You put on the mask, you agree with freezing the bank account. You put on the mask, you agree that the convoy are a bunch of terrorists. You put on the mask, you agree with police brutality to its citizens. It's like ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. If you want to find me on Facebook, it's Yvonne Dondo, D-O-N-D-O.
We're
maybe
leaving
go
that
follow
in.
me and check out my posts and like them, because other people aren't. Anyway, okay, bye.
That's when I say the best thinking is done when you're drinking. That's what I mean. That's the type of attitude that we need. We need more drunks calling into this show and airing exactly what's in it. You wear the mask, you're agreeing with police brutality. I love that. I am a fan of Yvonne. And I might just go like a few of her Facebook posts, because that is great. You go to the grocery store. I'm down here in Red Deer. Oh, boy, that is just beautiful. It is just beautiful. You don't get better than that. You come to this show and you get entertained, ladies and gentlemen. You don't. I don't even know what to say to that, you know? It's like, you wear the mask. I guess it's quite the stretch, and I can see how it's all webbed together. And you know, do I agree entirely with what she's saying? Yeah, no, not at all. Actually, the mask to me is first off, I'm just gonna fucking rant here. This isn't done, okay? It's not wrapping up anytime soon. You know, once government kind of figures out, like, they push and push and push and push, that was the breaking point. Okay, they agreed to masks. They agreed to lockdowns. They just complied. The breaking point was the QR code with the truckers. That's the last line of defense that these people have, is the truckers. Okay, so how do we get everybody now to agree with us? Now we've noticed that a good portion of people agree with the moves that we make in the House of Commons, in legislative, provincial, federal, however you want to word it. They've now learned a lot of fucking data over the past 2 years, and you can collect a lot of data in 2 years, believe it or not. So if you think this is all done, it is not. It is far from done. I imagine that there is a new, I wouldn't say strain, but there's a new threat, and it's going to come in the form of World War III, which is, we're already on the brink of it. Apparently, not my words, but there's more to come. This, like, it's not over yet. We're far from. They're going to open up in Alberta. All the mask mandates and all that bullshit is being dropped. But as there's quietly, what's happening is digital passports that are being implemented across states, all over the U.S. And if you think that Canada isn't just going to skirt by it, you're insane. So there's a lot happening right now with the distraction of old Poot Dog wanting Ukraine back, okay? And while this is happening, you think that you had freedom prior and you fought for something, you're really going to be fighting later. I mean, it's the inevitable. I'm not even a crazy conspiracy theorist that is saying this shit because it's already in the news. They're reporting on it, but it gets pushed down due to, other foreign relations that have no, that we really, is it affecting us directly? A little bit. Actually, a lot, seeing as we bring in oil from Russia. We're not energy, our energy sector isn't self-sufficient, like it's not like, it's not like we can just carry our own buckets of water and firewood to sustain life here is what I'm getting at. And it's not over. It's far from over. They taunt you with it all the time. And who's they? Governments, social media. There's bills being passed that, as we're being distracted, they just kind of slide it under the table. There you go. Put this one in. So what we're seeing now is like sports aren't interesting anymore, right? They took sports away for a good portion of time, and then we all became more political. We started reading into more. We started educating ourselves a little more. And let's get rid of that. We started educating ourselves in like history and learning about our psychological brain, the psychological side of our brain, how emotions. Some people went down that, but some people just sat on their ass and watched QAnon conspiracy videos, i.e. me. And then that became interesting. Everything that that we thought the world isn't, and these doors are now open, and it's incredibly terrifying to know that, your little voice does not matter, okay? And it really, really hurts your ego when you go from being the manager at a superstore and everybody abides by your little fucking schedule that you put out, and all the punishments that you can deliver to people that are late, and you had this power over that you could fire and take somebody's livelihood away, and then only to know that something higher is above you really, really hurts your ego, right? And now we're all figuring that out, that none of us matter. We're just cogs in the wheel, and all these little problems that we thought existed, now we're introduced to actual real world problems, that the government is monitoring every move of yours, and they are trying to strip you of certain voices online, and we don't really want, we're encouraging it, which is scary. It's terrifying. But as to say that the mask is like a show of you're agreeing with police brutality, I think is that's a thought that you have about half a bottle of Russian vodka in, And unfortunately, Yvonne can't get that vodka anymore because they pulled it off the shelves here in Canada. So now she's got to drink that dog shit Smirnoff that is just, it's all sugar. You wake up with a fucking headache, right? Don't get me started on the flavored shit. What do you think I am, in college again? But Yvonne, I appreciate you calling in and airing out your frustrations. What is the number to that fucking thing? I think it's 780. You know what? It'll be in the description down below. That's where the number to call is. The number to call, if you want to leave a voicemail, we'll air it. We'll air it. You call me, you leave me a voicemail, we'll talk about it. But this is what I like. Get hammered and air the real problem that you have with the world, your relationship, you know. Maybe you got a deep, dark secret that you just need to get off your chest. Air it out on this show. It's completely anonymous unless you want to put your name in it. But there you go. Another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Thank you again for listening. We appreciate it. We do. Share this with your friends, please. If you're listening on Apple iTunes, what the fuck? Rate the podcast. Leave a comment on there. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Subscribe. We could use it, okay? Subscribe and throw a like and a comment down below on what you think about phantom honking. That'll be the question. All right. Well, see you next week, ladies and gentlemen.